guys doing? Good.
DeAndre had a couple of visits. How did it work out for you here with the Chargers?
It's a great situation. Wanting to stay home, stay on the West Coast, and here got a great organization. Looking forward to what we got going here. Getting an opportunity to play with Justin and all the pieces that we got here. Just trying to go do what we got to do so we can win the championship.
In terms of your return ability, how much of that was a factor in the Chargers signing you, and sort of what conversations you had with Coach Staley, Coach Ficken, just about your role?
I'm pretty sure that's it was a big part of me signing here. I know they were looking for a returner this offseason, which is I'm assuming why they reached out to me. I'm just excited to get back there, bring some excitement to the special teams unit, and make some big plays.
Have they told you, is it both punt and kick returner?
We haven't gotten the details of it, but we'll see as training camp goes through.
Did you have any familiarity with Coach Ficken?
No, not at all. I mean, I know he was in Minnesota, and they had a lot of success last year in the return game, so I was excited about that, excited to see that. Looking forward to the opportunity to work with him.
Have you had conversations with him?
Yeah, talked to him. Yeah.
How have those been?
Good, smooth. He's a good guy, great spirits. We both just excited to get this thing going and, bring some excitement to the special teams unit.
Is that unusual for guys in your position to have to move around teams? You've had some success, but you also have had to move some. Why is it, do you think, at that position that guys like you tend to have to kind of jump around and find more?
I think it's just the way of the business. I'm getting up there in my years. They try to bring younger, newer, faster people in every year. But this year, I had the opportunity to go back to Washington. I like to fit here.
DeAndre, what went right last year in Washington? You seem to have a lot of success and alternate in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
What went right for you?
They had a great unit. They had great guys over there on the special teams unit. Coach Kasser, special teams coordinator, was great. Had a great plan week in and week out. We had guys that bought into the system and played hard. And for me as a returner, when you got guys out there willing to put their bodies on the line, blocking for you, you want to go out there and make plays for, to reward their effort and stuff like that. So I think we just kind of gelled, as a unit, and you saw the success.
Hopkins
yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
What's it like to be back with him?
It's dope, man. Dustin's a great guy, great kicker, and I'm excited to be back in the locker room with him.
For that visit, was just a visit? Was it a workout or anything like that?
Just a visit.
And just from those talks, did it seem like, okay, it's a good fit right away, or a couple of days you kind of heard some silence?
No, it was a good fit right away. I had some other, opportunities that we had to, to weigh the options out. But at the end of the day, this is where I wanted to be at, and I'm excited to be here.
Any returners that you model your game after, guys that you watch?
I watch everybody. I try to, keep my game to me, but you definitely watch other people and try to take all aspects of, other people's, what they do well and try to add to your game. Cordell Patterson, big Devin Hester fan, Deontay Harris in New Orleans, a lot of different guys. Andre Roberts that was here last year, different everybody. I watch everybody.
Coach Ficken, Cordell Patterson, long history. And
Yeah.
Brandon Staley as well, coached him in JUCO.
Yes, sir. Cordell, he's one of the best to ever do it. So I had the opportunity to play with him in Chicago. It was great to watch him work.
What jumps out to you about it, besides just how big and fast?
He's big and fast, hit the hole. Like, it's not so many people that with his size can run like he can run. The versatility that he has, as everybody saw last year in Atlanta. So, yeah, great player.
You have a pretty good, interesting background story on Sacramento State.
Yeah.
You're back here undrafted, but you were a substitute teacher at one point.
Yes, sir.
I guess you kind of look back at that journey and reflect on how far you've come.
Yeah, definitely. Every day I wake up and get to come into the building, it's a blessing. I had a year after my rookie year where I was out the league for, an entire year. And like you said, was substitute teaching at a middle school in Hayward, California. Great experience. Wouldn't take it back for the world, man. I love those kids. But it just teaches you to cherish the opportunities that you have. Make sure you take the advantage of all the opportunities that you have, and just be grateful. Like the area that I was in with those kids, underprivileged area, kids going through a lot of hard times and stuff like that. So for me, it was just being able to be somebody that they can come to and feel comfortable talking to about what's going on at school, what's going on at home, and just kind of be an ear for them to listen to.
Andrew, I think it's fair to say the Chargers special teams has been up and down in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in your position, how big of an impact can someone have, like yourself, on just a return?
I think it could be a big impact. I think when you score a touchdown in the return game, like the percentage of you winning a game is like crazy. And it brings a lot of energy, to the team. You make a big play, even if it's not even a touchdown, long return, but even a touchdown, there's a lot of momentum, in the game that flips, and, the offense can thrive on it, the defense can thrive on it. So if you got a good special teams unit, it's definitely going to go a long way into your team's success.
It takes a pretty special and particular mindset to be a good returner.
Yeah.
We were talking to Andre last year, and he said, you got to have a little bit of crazy in you.
You got to. I mean, you looking straight up at the sky, and people are running at you full speed, and you can't necessarily see them. It's definitely a different mindset, to be back there, and everybody can't do it, which is why you get to carve out different roles in the league for however many years. But I think it's going out there. You go out there to make a play, not to not mess up. You know what I mean? Trying to bring some excitement to the unit, knowing that you have a different skill set. And it's being explosive, being fun.
The other part of it is that you only get so many opportunities over the course of the season. How do you manage that? How do you deal with that, knowing that, like, okay, I'm only going to have so many returns, especially with how many touchbacks?
Yeah, you try to keep a level head about it. You get in the game when they're kicking all touchbacks or the team not punting a lot. So you kind of try to keep an even head about it, but it can get frustrating at times. But that just means that when you do get your hands on the ball, you get the opportunity, you got to make the most of every time.
How about playing with the wide receivers here at Keenan and Mike
Yeah.
Williams, and the quarterback just as good, Justin Herbert?
Yeah. So, I know Keenan for a couple of years. We work out with the same receiver coach down here in Southern California. And every offseason since I've been a rookie in the league, I pull up his target tape and just watch it all the way through. In my opinion, top route runner in the league, Keenan. Excited to be able to watch him work on a day-to-day basis. Mike Williams, big body guy, jump ball guy, making a lot of plays, man. Happy for him, the contract he just got. And Justin, arguably one of the top quarterbacks in the league, being so young, great future ahead of him. I can't wait to play with all of them.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, DeAndre. Nice to meet you.
How are you? Good, you? Happy Easter, everybody. Happy belated Easter, at least.
It seems like we've asked a lot of guys this offseason about getting reunited with Coach Staley. So let's start there. Just your familiarity with him and how much of a factor you coming here he was.
Well, Coach Staley being a defensive guy, I'm not too familiar with his concepts and with the way he coaches, but in the head coaching role, I'm definitely familiar with his projection of what he wants to do with the team, and today being day one, definitely clear intent on what we want to do here this year.
What drew you to the Chargers in free agency?
Well, really, number one was interest. Number two was the terms. And number three was the potential, the type of team that they had last year and the caliber that we could have this year. As you guys saw with the offseason moves, I think we'll do pretty well this year.
How excited are you to play with Justin Herbert?
Oh, ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. Like he just said before, a young quarterback, arguably one of the best in the league, and he showed some great promise, especially last year. So we're going to try to build on that.
As you mentioned, Gerald, you're still pretty new, and you're kind of seeing how they're operating over
Yeah.
here at Brandon Staley. I guess so far, what are you kind of taking away from the way he wants to run it here?
Well, everybody just be themselves. Everybody come to work, ready to work, leave home, at home, come with a clear heart and clear mind, and everything should gel just nicely.
One thing that Brandon brought up to us after they signed you, just they felt like you had a lot to give in terms of yards after the catch.
Right.
Last year you set a career high in yards after the catch. Just in terms of potential in that area, what do you feel like you can bring to the table in terms of yards after the catch?
Just leave everything on the field. Don't have any regrets after the game, whether you should have ran out of bounds or, should have made that one guy miss, or just decisions that you can make in a split second during the game. Just want to leave everything on the field and be there for my teammates, really.
Joe, you've gotten better in terms of receptions and receiving yards each and every year in the league. What about this opportunity with Justin as your quarterback? Do you think that, hey, this could be your best year yet?
I think you have to have that mindset every year, no matter where you are or who's that quarterback, but just remaining optimistic and having a pretty broad perspective on the game and on life and trying to do the best you can for your family and your teammates and the organization. So I think we'll be pretty productive, and with Justin being a great quarterback that he is and having so many surrounding cast like Mike and Keenan, I think we'll do pretty good. I think it'll be a great year for us.
You know, you're familiar with some guys on defense, for Reader and
Right.
Sebastian. How about on offense? Any guys that you know or are familiar with?
I know Mike. I knew Keenan. Past couple of years, just being out in LA and being in the league, networking and socializing together on our free time. But other than that, no, just watching them from afar and watching games on the weekends when we're not playing.
When you're looking at free agency, looking at teams, as far as this team's use of its tight ends, how much of that factored into it, and what what do you see? How do you see yourself fitting in terms of how they like to use tight ends?
Well, that's a funny question. I really don't see myself traditionally as a tight end, so it's hard to say because in this league, everybody's kind of transforming to the pass-catching tight ends, the George Kittles or the Travis Kelce's, and each team has some pretty good tight ends. But for us, we want to spread the ball around and throw it. So I think it'll be down the field vertically.
What do you view yourself as? Not
An athlete, playmaker, and a team player.
For the blocking aspect, how important is that from the conversation you have with the Chargers
Right.
for that year?
Just aggressiveness, really. My 6 years in the league really came down to blocking and just being aggressive, really being the hammer, not the nail. Obviously, I'm one of the smaller guys at the position in the league, and I try to take heed to that and really cherish that and really try to make the most of my opportunities in the passing game. And then when I'm called to block, I want to be just as effective.
Another thing that Brandon brought up to us was just your ability to operate inside,
Right.
in the slot, sort of detached.
Right.
How have you grown in that area over the course of your career, and then also working with Keenan there, something that Brandon brought up? How excited are you to sort of work off each other on the inside?
Well, those guys on the outside will definitely take the top off down the field, but me specifically working out of the backfield and immediately, I think that we'll complement each other nicely and accent each other nicely. But you see me do a variety of things from being in the backfield or in the hip or out wide. So whatever they ask me to do, I'm going to try to do it to my best capabilities.
It's a pretty short stay in Seattle. What did you learn the most from playing versus listening to those guys there?
Really, I learned more from Seattle off the field, more than on the field, and just growing as a person, growing as a man, as a father, as a son, and just being the best football player I can be and being the best person that I could be in the community. And that'll translate when you go home and when you come back to work the next day. So I would probably say overall that was the biggest thing that I took the step in Seattle, just identifying weaknesses in myself and wanting to be the best me.
Yes. Thanks, Gerald.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Gerald.